CEO. The VP of Education is the COO, the Chief Operating Officer. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about personnel, HR, which is the VP of Membership. And we're also going to talk about our incredible public relations marketing person who is the VP of PR. So without further ado, we're going to have a 40-minute session. It's going to be broken up a little bit between the VP of Membership and the VP of PR. Our VP of Membership presenter today is our soon-to-be distinguished Toastmaster, our Division D Director, Betsy Irvin. And she will be followed up and supported by our up-and-coming coach, Amber, who is going to talk about public relations and social media and websites and different things like that. So for the next 40 minutes, you have the two here. So first of all, we'll start off with Distinguished Toastmaster to be Betsy Irvin. The floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. We're actually going to go back and forth. So I'm going to let Amber talk first.
Great morning, everybody. How are you doing? Let me get some fire in this chat. I got to make sure you awake and you ready for this fire presentation today. So I'm the Vice President of PR for the Dayton 405 Club, the Enthusiasm Club. Okay, we keep it live over there. I hope you're keeping it live at your club as well. Okay, Betsy, if you can go to the next slide for me, please.
All right. Okay, so some of this you saw before. We'll talk about role, responsibilities, and resources. And identify your role, fulfill your responsibility, and find resources.
Yes, so that's what we'll be doing today. So for your responsibilities, can anybody tell me what the VP of PR is supposed to do during the club meeting? Raise your hand or drop it in the chat. Don't be shy now. Shy is a lie, okay? No, any guess? Okay, yes. I need one more person. What is the VP of PR doing during the club meeting?
I'll say taking notes and looking for opportunities to talk about it after the meeting, like to promote it after the meeting.
Yes, that is good. Thank you, Michael. All right, so also I'm going to add in there, you can be getting content. Show people what you guys are doing and how great it is online, right? Now, what should the VP of PR be doing outside the club meeting? Let me get somebody. Come on.
Posting social networking sites, updating.
Okay, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Okay, now let me get one more person. What sites was Scott referring to? Social media, websites, what was he referring to, guys?
We're a corporate club, so we use Viva Engage and we post updates letting our company know what our Toastmasters clubs are doing.
Okay, thank you, Jocelyn. One more. DJ?
Yeah, I was going to add that we as well are a corporate club and we maximize, in our case, Microsoft Teams and all the tools that come with it. And a newsletter person talks to our internal communications person, and we get our publicity through that through those channels.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, DJ. Okay, let me go to the chat really quick. Promote the benefits of Toastmasters. Promote on LinkedIn. Promote the club through social media. So what's that? Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the places that your potential new members could be. You want to be in all of them. Planning an open house, creating flyers. Yes, I love it. And then the executive community, what do they do? Come on, one person. What is is anybody on the committee in here? The executive committee. Is anybody on it? Our corporate club hosts open house, usually a murder mystery event in the fall. I love that. A theme, a campaign, right? So every month has a campaign. Most months have a holiday. So tie your club into that for the promotion. Okay, go ahead, Betsy.
All right. So for the VPPM, the membership, I mean, what do they do in the club meeting? Anybody? the VPM, I think VPM has a very important role during the club meeting.
I would say, sorry to interrupt, but I would say like make sure that everybody knows when a guest is there, make them feel welcome.
Right, right. Anybody else want to say anything?
The dog agrees. Okay, this is brief. When we first started Torch, it was Toastmasters of Riverside Church, which is one of the largest churches here in New York City. We were lucky. We were in their newsletter, we were on their bulletin boards, and people kept coming in, and it was fantastic.
All right, thank you. What about outside the club meeting? Well, maybe you might want to follow up with a visitor or any other ideas?
We performed a survey with people that have been guests. If they haven't returned, we tried to ask them why they haven't returned, so we get an understanding of maybe questions that they might need to have answered, and we try to answer those for any potential future guests, or since we are a corporate group, we try to share out to the rest of our corporation items that may be preventing people from joining our club based on feedback.
Great.
We
Okay,
post, oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
We post the word of the day after the meeting and tag people and challenge them to use it and post how they used it.
That's an interesting idea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Bessie.
Yes?
Also, after the meeting, you can meet with the guests that came and either show them the website, the Toastmasters website, or find out more about their goals and show them how your club can help them hit their goals.
Yeah, that's important. Right immediately after the meeting, before you leave, you should talk to the visitor and so on, show them those things. And then one person mentioned earlier today that they didn't come back because they didn't ask them to join. So you do want to go talk to the person. What about the executive committee? Any comments on the executive committee?
Yes, I'll make a couple of comments, Madam DTM, to be Betsy Ever. First of all, when it comes to VP of membership and VP of PR, they are tantamount. They run hand in hand. They work together. They're in the same mold of trying to bring in new members. But first, you have to be able to promote something. What is your club? Every one of you on this call today should be thinking about, what does your club meeting look like? Is it dry toast? Does anyone have a speech? Is it unorganized? Does it start late? Don't nobody want to come back to that. And then if you don't have a good website, if you don't have a good Facebook page, good Instagram, good X page, no one's going to come to your club. I've gone to hundreds of clubs in my 29 years of Toastmasters. The clubs I normally go back to are the ones that start on time, where the meetings are nice and juicy like a steak, not like a piece of dry toast. But you have to ask yourself, what are you promoting? And who are you going to try to get to be a member? So the whole executive council should be looking at that at all times. Is your president working with the VPE to make sure the agenda is good? Is the membership person asking people to join after a couple of meetings? Is the PR putting a bright, vibrant picture out there on the webpage? All these things work together. And we'll talk a little bit later about how the Sergeant at Arms kinds of seals all that stuff together, and how the Secretary and the Treasurer make sure people are recording the meetings and paying for their dues.
Thank you. It's definitely a contact team sport. I'm going to go on to the next slide.
All right. So raise your hand. What does the VP of PR do before club meetings? What is your role? Who are the VP of PRs? Let's raise our hands really quick because I'm going to make sure I call on you. Everybody let me know or drop it in the chat. Who is it? Who is it? Okay. Okay, Andrew, what do you do before the club meeting? Okay, well, Jocelyn has her hand up. Go ahead, Jocelyn.
Post reminders about upcoming meetings and invite people to join or reach out to us for more information.
Yes, I love it. All right. You have your hand up. Go ahead and unmute. What do we do before the club meetings? One more person, please.
Yeah. So I'm like the VP membership at like the hospital, and I'm also like I play another role as the vice president of the student network for the graduate students. And we're having an orientation now coming up for the new influx of students for the academic year. So I'm gonna like make up a slideshow for orientation and plug Toastmasters in probably.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so upon arrival at club meetings, let me get some people in the chat. What do we do upon arrival at club meetings? So upon arrival, you can take a picture of the room, show our pride on social media, letting people know like, hey, we're organized, we're ready to go, we're ready for you to come in, right? And then during club meetings, what do we do during club meetings, right? We get that content. We get testimonials from guests that visited. We post those testimonials that lets people know how our club is doing and that we're an exciting club, right? We always want to be positive as well. Make sure you're not being negative to guests or negative to your current members. Be positive. Like don't overdo it really, okay? Everybody wants to have fun at the club. Everybody wants to speak. All right. Go ahead, Betsy.
Oh, what do you do? Let's go on to this slide.
Okay,
This
thank
is for
you.
VPPR, Amber.
Thank you. Yes. So you want to verify that information on the website and social media is correct. So after every club meeting, I make sure that I update the date, like 5 minutes after the current meeting, so that our website is up to date. Nobody wants to come to your website and see an old date on there, right? Also, you want to order promotional material. So that might be the ribbons that people win. That might be stickers that puts our brand out there. All right. No rinky dink promotional materials. Okay. Don't make it yourself. Toastmasters has a place that you can order it. Okay. Get a badge, get a shirt, get something that represents our brand and wants people to be tied into it. A brand is something that people should be able to tie themselves into. So make it about your people, make it about your purpose. Okay.
Hey, Coach, I noticed that you have a badge on. It looks like. How important is to have a branded marketing tool like that on and walking around like the mall or something?
Very important. It's always important to represent your brand. So me personally, I have my own brand as well, but having this badge on, it'll have people take you more serious, right? Not everybody's gonna have a badge on. They're gonna be like, oh, what is that? What's Toastmasters, right? So if you want to go market naturally, you can have your badge on or have your shirt on at the mall, at Target, at Walmart, once in a while. I'm not saying you got to be the mascot, but put it on once in a while and walk outside and start talking to people and they'll come to you. I know a lot of people are like, I don't like talking to people, or what do I say? But when you have your badge on, this is a conversation starter, right?
And I'd like to add, as a corporate club being virtual, having your signature, if you're an officer, and your signature in your Outlook email as being part of Toastmasters and having that logo on there does spark interest where people will ask, what's that? How can I be a part of that? So
Exactly. Everybody's looking to be a part of something. Nobody likes to be alone, right? And Toastmasters is something great because public speaking is important. Speaking to others is important. If you don't know how to do that, we teach people to do that here, right?
Right. Well, I'll go on to VPM. Some of the things he might do is make a list of new members, have a few guest packets. Anyone have a guest packet they want to talk about? Do you have a guest packet? What might be in the guest packet?
I'm sorry. I'm getting on the subway now. Just so you know, I might cut in and out.
You might have it a membership application as part of the guest packet.
Yeah, that's an important feature. And some other information about Toastmasters. And we already talked about this, but contact former guests and members who have not been attending. Caden?
I'd say to include kind of an infographic on pathways with brief descriptions of each path and how to get started on that and the value of going through that program.
Yeah, that's a good point because pathways is a very important part of Toastmasters. And you got to get started somewhere, so it's good to see those paths and learn about them. Anybody else? Okay. I'm going to see what the chats are. For virtual club, well, you could still put a membership form in the chat and maybe a couple others, the pathways, big PDF and a couple other PDFs.
So, Madam VP membership, I just put in the chat box a sort of a virtual guest packet that Raphael was probably alluding to or talking about, but you can make it any ton of different ways. You can do a virtual guest packet on your free Toast host. You can also do it on your any type of email or any type of package you put together on Google Drive. Just something to get the information out there. And there's no right or wrong answer, just whatever your club is looking for.
Yeah, we have a virtual member packet on our free Toast host. Those are good ideas. The leadership pictures and bios, good idea.
I'm actually communicating with our VP now about possibly sending out a email for visitors who attend our meeting just to kind of welcome them and provide them with any pertinent information to pique their interest in joining our club. So I think that could be something for virtual clubs.
And did you know that all officers have access to the membership email list? If you go on to Club Central memberships, you can download all the emails. Okay. We'll go on to the next slide. Upon arrival, greet all the guests and members and provide them with a guest packet and ask them if they want to participate in the meeting. Ask them if they, we always say, do you have any comments about how the meeting went, at the end of the meeting? And do they have any questions, that kind of thing? Any comments? Anyone want to share what they do upon arrival at the meetings? Definitely. We use Facebook as a good thing too, because the Toast you can't really attach. You can attach web links, but not documents. So Facebook you can attach documents. Okay, well, I'll go on to the next one. Amber. Oh, Polly, do you want to say anything first? Polly?
Yes, one of the things that we do at the very beginning of the meetings is, well, we have the guests introduce themselves, but we also ask at that time if any of them would be willing to participate in table topics, because we don't like scaring people away, but we also like to give them an opportunity to join in the meeting if they feel up to that. So we get their permission first, though, before we call on them for table topics.
Yeah, that's a good point, because some people are very, very frightened and some are more ready to charge ahead. So you definitely want to ask. Joy, did you want to say something?
Thank you. As I mentioned, we're all virtual, so we find it'd be great if all guests arrived early, because most of us arrive more than 5 minutes early, and we can welcome the guests and give them an idea of what's going on. However, even after the president's welcome and we get started, then guests tend to join. But at some point during the meeting, we welcome the guests, or we call out so-and-so as a guest, and we ask them if they're a Toastmaster from another club or if they just joined us. And sometimes we ask them, maybe they saw us on Eventbrite or they saw our YouTube channel. And we have a lot of people watching our YouTube videos that aren't members, so I don't know where they are coming from. But we always ask them before a table topics if they're interested in participating in that. And one more thing, then at the end, because we are recording this for YouTube, we turn the camera off and adjourn the meeting right on time. And we tell them, but we'll stay on. And that way, if they were a little too hesitant to talk during any part of the, prepared speeches and then evaluations and all the formality that we tend to do, then they can just talk with us after the meeting. So that's our method.
Thank you. Kaden mentioned they do a round robin of introductions at the start.
I like that idea. Okay, everybody, we have 17 minutes left on our session, so we'll probably take mostly comments, and I know who my VPs of PR are, so I'm going to see you in that chat, okay? All right, so during club meetings, you want to distribute promotional materials, all right? So you might have the schedule for the year or the schedule for the next few months to give to people so they have it in their hand and not just a digital copy. Report results of public relations efforts. So for example, I started a Instagram page for our chapter. And so of course we started with 0 followers and now we're at 30 followers within about a month or two. 30 doesn't seem a lot, but if you put 30 people in one room, it is a lot of people, right? So that's something we can convey to our club on how we're doing. Announce public relations campaigns. So I think somebody said a murder mystery campaign is what they had during the end of the year, right? So what kind of campaigns can you do? So I know September is coming up. Maybe we can do some type of fall campaign or some type of end of summer campaign, right? For the club. One of the campaigns we did in our clubs was back to school. And then also we can solicit volunteers. I never even thought to solicit volunteers, so I'm doing this very soon in my club. Let me see the chat. 30 is a great start. That's a great idea. That's awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. So yeah, solicit volunteers. So there's probably 8 to 9 different social media platforms, and also including our Toastmasters website that the VP of PR is over. So have people help you. So whether that's creating content or posting for you, or maybe somebody else helps you update the website, then that can help you further the goal of the club and have that PR going well.
Okay. Okay, well, after the club meeting, we meet with guests to answer questions, invite guests to join the club, and complete the membership application. We already talked about some of these things, but does anyone have anything to add? There's a chat. Yeah, these different events are a great way. One club I know that one of my clubs, TV Toastmasters, is going to have a debate. That's kind of different.
Thank you for mentioning that, Betsy, because it is the third Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. Eastern, and it is a debate about electric vehicles. So we have a pro, and we have a con, we have evaluators. It's going to be fun. I love the debates. Everybody welcome.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So, okay, outside the club meeting, all right, what do we do? Drop it in the chat. My VPs of PR or anybody can chime in the chat. You might be a PR VP one day. All right, so we want to publicize the Toastmasters brand, okay? Like I said, a brand is something that your clients should be able to see themselves on the inside of. So when you publicize the brand, don't just post the logo. Don't just post just the empty room. You can do like a reel where you post the room empty and then you post it full of Toastmasters, exciting during a meeting or after a meeting, right? And you can do that on platforms such as your Toastmasters website, your Instagram, your Facebook page, right? And so you don't have to recreate the reel. What you do is you post the same campaign on every platform. A lot of people get discouraged because they think there's so many platforms. But if you just do the same post, you're good to go, right? Go ahead, Jocelyn.
I have a question. As a new VP of public relations, I'm very much about employee engagement and fun. We're a corporate club. I'm having difficulty with the tightrope walk between fun versus a more formal posting. Is it okay to intermingle the two, or should I always lean more towards the professional? Every post that I see regarding Toastmasters it's very clean, it's very polished. And what I posted on the site internally was a guy with his hair standing up, looking all surprised, saying, public speaking isn't that bad. Come join our team and see what it's all about. And that's, things that I gravitate towards. But sometimes seeing all of these such polished postings and everything, it feels a little intimidating. I'm part of the club and it's intimidating to me. So how does someone else on the outside feel about it? What are your thoughts about those types of postings?
Okay, so my thoughts are, of course, you want to be professional. So you don't want to post anything lewd or anything disrespectful, right? Or anything towards anybody's ethnicity, right? So I feel like outside of those guidelines, I feel like you should be fine. You want to, like the post you just said was funny to me. And you also want to catch people's attention. People see marketing every day. They see websites every day. They see Instagram posts every day. And so if all of them are formal and you're talking proper and they're boring, nobody cares. Nobody cares in the first place. So yes, post something that's engaging, educational, inspirational, motivational, maybe funny once in a while, right? Oh, and always follow the theme of Toastmasters. My club, we made a reel the other day, and I don't know if anybody knows this theme. Drop it in the chat if you do. But we said things like, I'm a Toastmaster. Of course, I love to speak. I'm a Toastmaster. Of course, I write my speech at the last minute, right? So these are things that are funny and engaging, and they're still respectful, right? So that's what I have to say. And you don't get anywhere by pretending to be somebody. Be yourself. Just be respectful, right?
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. We did those videos too.
Oh, nice. Okay, we got to drop that in the chat. If I don't know if we're allowed to, but drop that link in the chat so we can check it out. So next, outside the club meeting, you want to promote the club, right? So that's on social media. That might be flyers. If our location is at the library, so we might leave some flyers at the front desk to promote, right? If they're already in the library, 9 times out of 10, they'll come back for our meeting, right? Maintain the club website. Like I said earlier, update the dates. No outdated information. After every club meeting, I add the pictures that we took that night. Keep it up to date. Lastly, join a Toastmasters moderated social networking website. Okay? Thank you, Betsy.
Can I follow
Amber?
up very quickly?
Sure. Go ahead.
I think part of the issue that Jocelyn was talking about for Assurant and for any corporate club is that corporate entities have this thing that they have to be polished and professional. But I would love to hear Michael Pope and you, Coach Amber, talk about working with Les Brown and some of these big names that are at a very professional level that still have fun. Just kind of give her just a minute or two about the fidelity, how you can walk that tightrope to have fun and still be very professional, especially at the highest levels of speaking.
Yes. So, Les Brown is my mentor, and so if you follow me on Instagram at Coach Ablaza, you'll see one of the videos we have. My brand is called Pretty Girls Don't Work, and so I told Les Brown to talk about that, and he jokes like he's been doing this for 52 years, speaking right professionally, but he's on my video talking about pretty girls don't work because they're living the dream lives, right? So I think there's a good opportunity to be yourself and still be professional, right? And I see in the chat, being professional does not equal lack of fun. Exactly. You can still be formal and professional and still have fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Michael Pope, or did you want to say anything?
Nothing really to add, but I agree. I mean, professionals like to have fun as well. They love to laugh. And yeah, I know I've had opportunity to spend time around Les Brown as well, and he makes everybody laugh, right? So he'll take even the stiff professionals and show them how to have fun, and everybody wants to do that, even if they don't show it on the outside. People love to smile and have fun.
Okay, thank you. Now, one thing I didn't ask, who is a VPM? Anybody? Okay, we got a few people. Jenny, Andrew, Rick, Ryan, and maybe a few others. So some of the things that we do outside the club meeting is bring the membership applications, assist the VPPR. We already talked about we're working together, bringing the people in and advertising to people, ensure the meeting information is correct, attend the executive meetings, and attend and vote at area council meetings. Sometimes the area director has meetings and invites the club officers. Any comments or questions? Ryan?
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to mention. I saw this in a few messages in the chat, but I'm a part of a corporate club too, and I haven't had the chance to do this yet. I'm looking forward to as the VP of membership, but I know we have we have a meeting coming up at our company. It's like a new hire breakfast, or we have other employee resource group fairs that we have, and that's a great opportunity for us to try to promote our club, recruit new members. So I'm looking forward to doing that for our club, and just wanted to share that as an example for unique ways or different ways to try to do that for corporate clubs.
Well, thank you for sharing. That's a great idea. Especially if you're part of a corporate club. How many of you are part of corporate clubs? Yeah, I think several people. And in the chat, there's just some thank yous. You're welcome. Any other comments? Okay, we'll go on to Nicole. Do you have a comment?
We have 5 minutes left. Just wanted to tell everybody.
Okay, I think we're about done.
No, I didn't have a comment. I was just saying, yes, I'm part of a corporate club.
All right,
I'm
all
gonna
right.
lower my hand now.
Okay. All right. All right. Amber, do you want to talk now?
Okay, so for the executive committee, you want to provide a public relations report, okay? Keep people updated in the club and how they can help. Maybe they can record some content while they're speaking. I have professional speaking engagements, and so maybe I can post some of those engagements on our page and just welcome people to join and show how Toastmasters has helped me. Also propose new promotion ideas. So like I said before, who's heard of ChatGPT? Drop some fire in the chat really quickly for me. ChatGPT, you can go on there and you can type in, write me new promotion ideas for my Toastmasters club, right? And along the lines of professional, but still engaging, right? Also, the promotions can be monthly. So for Halloween, you can have that murder mystery dinner, right? Or murder mystery case. All of those are different things that you can do. Okay, let's go to the next slide.
And the VPN, the same thing, organize and conduct membership contests, like an open house and things like that. And report on the club membership. Does anybody have any other ideas of membership contests? Okay, I'll go on to the next one. The one thing you want to think about as you get to the end of the term in April, May, to arrange for your replacement and prepare your successor for the office. Okay, and then finally we have some additional resources, and we'll put those in the chat. Do you want to say anything, Amber?
Yes, I just want to say that thank you guys for joining us today for the VP of PR. If you have any questions on PR, you can write me on Instagram and I'll drop my link in the chat so that you can find me easily. I'm also a branding specialist, so I definitely can help you out with your PR.
Okay, and then we have some resources for VPM also. And some of these we talked about earlier, the Distinguished Club Program. Speechcraft is an idea that it's kind of a way to drum up members, and that's a kind of a concentrated Toastmaster year in an 8-week period where you have speeches and try to bring people in that want just a little bit of information about speeches. Does anybody have any speechcraft experience?
Hey, Bessie, I'll say we, as part of the club growth committee, we are going to be having a guest speaker come in and talk about speechcraft in the month of, I think, either October or September. I can't remember which one, but soon.
Okay, that sounds exciting. I'm planning to do a speechcraft myself. In chat. Thank you. So, any questions in closing? I think we might just have a minute or two.
Actually, it's now 11:20 and it's time to move on.
Well, thank you, everybody. And we'll stop sharing.
Okay. Thank you, Betsy Irvin and Coach Amber. Give it up for these wonderful presenters that we had today. We have time now for a 5-minute break. We will come back and we will start at 11:25. 11:25, we'll start off with Secretary Treasurer. Ann Davis, are you okay? Are you able to follow? Are you good? Perfect. Everybody else, go take a short break and we'll start back in 5 minutes, 11:25 sharp.